future stars of hockey on display in Edmonton this week. The premier event for this age group, maybe on planet Earth.
Now it's time for these youngsters to strut their brick best.
3 words. Here we go.
Now here's a chance for BC, a shot, they score! Number 98, Connor Bedard.
Matthews circles in front, shoots, scores! Austin Matthews.
They're good, they're young. Can you believe they are only 9 and 10? He scores!
From the comeback kids.
In front, scores! Montreal, their youngsters are the champions of the Brick Invitational. A day that these 9 and 10-year-olds will never forget.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back inside West Edmonton Mall here in Edmonton, Alberta. My name is Adam Manna. I will have the call for you today for today's matchup between the Western Selects and CCM Chicago, as we have an All-American matchup here today at the 35th Annual Brick Invitational. Both these teams looking for their first win of the tournament, as the Western Selects started off day one with an opening day loss to the Detroit Junior Red Wings by a score of 6-2, while CCM Chicago is playing their second game of the day today, as they dropped their opener 5-4 to the Toronto Bulldogs and then lost to a very powerful Detroit Junior Red Wings team this morning by a count of 7-2. Should be another great game, and if it's anything like the last one, we should be out of breath by the end of it. Stay tuned, we'll have the opening face-off coming right up after the national anthems. Well, the national anthems have concluded, and we're almost set to drop the puck here on our 5:30 p.m. game between two American teams. One being CCM Chicago and the other being the Western Selects. As we're going to start you off with our starting goalies for this evening's contest. And We're just waiting for both teams to kind of take the net. We know of one for sure, and that would be in the Western Select net, but we'll get there. We're just waiting on Chicago. It looks to be number 31, Jack Trischler, as he's kind of getting himself ready just in front of the Chicago bench there. And then for the Western Selects, it's going to be number 31, Braden Anderson. And Anderson played in yesterday's game against the Detroit Junior Red Wings, in which thought he was pretty good. But unfortunately, Detroit just had too much firepower. And actually, we were wrong. It's going to be number 50, Nolan Blair, getting the start for CCM Chicago, as we're underway here at the Mayfield Toyota Ice Palace 35th Annual Brick Invitational. As watch out for Mina Chen of Western. She was real good yesterday, scoring both goals, and they were beauties. And she starts out there on a line with Landau and Hirsch, as Hirsch will break that play up. Now it will be number 8 for the Selects, playing that ahead. As they move it D to D, that's Bracho. He sent that through the middle, and it hopped over the stick of Hirsch, and it will be icing on the Western Selects. So the face-off will come to the right of Anderson, and the pipes for Western. We're 40 seconds in to this first period. And like we mentioned, the last game between Toronto Pro Hockey and the Boston Junior Bruins was unbelievable. As it went to double overtime, Toronto Pro Hockey getting a huge stop at one end and then going on a breakaway to win it in the other end. As CCM Chicago has the puck in the near side corner, as they will skate this out now is number 23, that is MJ Rubino. It's stolen there by number 9. That is Ben Adumi. Adumi lets the wrister go. That's kicked over the far pad of starting netminder number 50, Nolan Blair. Now it will be Medlock for Chicago, playing that back of the net. It's turned over. It will be Western picking that up. It will be moved low to high, but it's picked off, and now Madson's going to have to hurry as Rubino cutting to the middle. Rubino back end to forehand, the shot right on Anderson, and he makes his first big stop of the evening, as that one was a point blanker. And that keeps the game scoreless as Rubino, great puck control there, going forehand to backhand and then backhand to forehand to let that shot fly. And a great stop by the Western netminder. As now it will be Brooke Bourne, wearing number 97 for the Western Selects. She will gain the zone, change the point of attack by backhanding it to the weak side. Now it will be number 24, Miller Van Ness. Van Ness ends up falling. He's battling in there along a couple defenders. Now Western trying to center. That one skips back out to Tika. Tika wearing number 7 will let that shot fly. That goes off the back wall. Now it's kept in by Lampman. Clarkson was also there for Western, but it's stolen by Chicago, and it will be Proctor. Proctor bringing it over the line. He's got Prest with him, lets the shot go, and it was from long range, and no trouble there for Anderson with 9:36 now left to go in this first period of play. As the faceoff comes to the left of Selects netminder Braden Anderson. Chicago, good help off the draw by the inside winger, keeps the puck alive. Now it will be number 22, Bobby Eichelberger. He will get there along with Garrett Gersak. Now the puck played just in front of the Western bench where Mina Chen plays that ahead for Landau. Landau feeds it through the feet, and now we're going to have a tripping call. And CCM Chicago had to try and break that play up before it got dangerous. And Landall is able to draw a penalty here, which will put Western on their first man advantage of the evening. And you can see Hirsch almost caught up to that one, but alertly Nolan Blair was able to come out and jump on it. So it will be Lewandowski going off for tripping. And now Adumi on the draw for the Western Selects. He lost that offensive zone draw. Chicago playing that around the boards, out of the reach of number 24, Colm Hennigan. As now Landau, nice jump, spread it out. Here's Broch. Broch over to number 9. That was Adumi letting that shot fly. And that one stopped by Blair from the right flanker, Benjamin Adumi. We'll get a look here as Broch spread it out right at the right face-off dot, let that shot go. And nice job there by Blair to stay square and make the save. Western only had one power play in their opening game against Detroit, in which they were 0 for 1. Chicago not doing so well on the penalty kill. They're clicking at 40% as they are 2 for 5 so far on the tournament. So we'll see who this is going to favor. Western clicking at 0%, Chicago at 40. As Landau will hit the brakes on the power play entry. Spreads it out, up to Broch. Broch, long wrister shot. Tried to get knocked down at net front by Chen. Chen now, she's definitely not afraid to get in there and use her frame to win puck battles, and she did there, but unfortunately that puck ends up coming back out to the neutral ice area. Now Landau comes back over the line, 1-on-2, lets the wrister go. That one off the blocker of Blair, and Blair was trying to get the whistle, but he left it for his defenseman who could not clear. Now Western back up to the point, it's Adumi. Adumi will spin away from Salmonen. Salmonen did just enough to force him into a bad decision. Now Landau still with it. He tried to toe drag that one by his man, but it comes back out. We got 30 seconds remaining in the power play for the Western Selects. Shots favor the Selects, 4-2. Now Madsen up to the point, long shot into this near side corner. Comes back out to Smith, who's wearing number 19. Smith plays that back of the goal. Madsen's gonna try and get there. As they center towards the front of the goal, and Chicago's able to pick that off and play that back off the wall to Goff. Goff plays that up for Smith on the quick up. Smith centering it, Clarkson ends up falling as he tried the sliding one-timer as the puck was behind him, but ended up taking himself out of the play. And Chicago has returned to even strength as we're down to 7 minutes. Here's a chance for Western. They try to shoot that one from a bad angle, ends up going right out to the other side for Smith. Smith, once again, will play that down deep. Clarkson trying to catch up to that puck. He's got Sallier there as well, and now Clarkson's taken out hard along the far side boards. They play on. Now Miller trying to jam that up the wall. Miller still with it. He couldn't quite move it ahead as they try to move pucks north on the breakout. Now they will softly play that ahead, but once again, Rubino was behind Smith, which allows Western to keep the pressure alive here. Clarkson will try to sauce that back to Goff. That's picked off, and here is Hannanen. Hannanen is their leading scorer with 3 points after day one, and that was offside. As we're going to take a look at that last shot from Western, and you can see this goes through the legs of Blair, who was not tight to his post. And boy, he was fortunate there. That one didn't hit his inside leg and bounce right in. So we stay locked up at 0 with 6:05 to go, and heads up in the Chicago bench as that one will hit a stick and bounce in there with the draw coming just outside the Chicago, or no, actually they're going to bring it back inside the Chicago blue light. As the faceoff comes to the left of Blair. Won by Chicago. Their inside winger jumps to that puck. That would be pressed. Now it will be number 3, Jake Saganti. Saganti now will leave it for number 12, George Huey. And Huey moves it up for Proctor. Proctor's Headman pass for Prest out of his reach. It will be number 97, Brooke Bourne. Brooke Bourne almost turned it over there. Luckily, the puck hit her shin pad and bounced right back to her. Bourne now over the line. Hui takes that away from her and now will wheel his way through the center ice area. Now it's kicked out. The shot right on Anderson. Rebound. And nice job by Western collapsing to the front of the net there. As Chen gave help, now it goes to Hirsch. Hirsch down the right side. Left-handed shot. Taking it to his backhand. Tried to protect it there against Saganti. But a nice stick on puck play there by Saganti. Broke up that play. Now another big hit along the wall. Landau taking the effects of that. Now here's Hirsch. Hirsch's shot off the shin pads of Saganti, who's been all over the puck this shift. Saganti will now play that indirect off the boards. Back out to the Western blue line. 4:50 to go here in the opening period. We didn't have a goal in the Boston-Toronto game until the third period, as they were all knotted up at zeros after 2 periods of play. See if that's the case here between these two. Saganti and Medlock out there on the back end for Chicago, with Medlock picking up that loose puck. Plays that off the boards. It's held in by Feld. And now Chicago tries to break it up the far side boards where it's held in. Now a shot from Van Ness right on, and Blair challenges to the top of the paint and makes that stop right into the crest. As he will hang on, and a nice chance for Western there. Off a turnover in the D zone from Chicago, in which Van Ness, the lefty, let the shot go, but Blair was ready for that puck. And he's looked sharp so far as shots favor Western 5-3. And now win the draw. Feld spreads it out to Broch. Broch, low shot tipped, and that one didn't miss by much as it comes into the near side corner. Feld now keeps it in as Van Ness slides that underneath the Chicago stick. Clarkson also battling. He upends his man. Now they center to the slot. Lampin had a little bit of trouble with it, which will allow Chicago to break back over center. It was number 21, Rocco Haskell. He got upended, couldn't get it deep. Eichelberger's also there. He's out there with Salmonen. Now Van Ness into the far corner as they dump it in. Van Ness has had enough. He's going off for a change. Clarkson now goes low to high. Broch tried to knock that down with one hand, but it escapes the zone. And Feld will give it right back to Broch. Broch through the middle of the ice. Righty coming through, skate to stick as he got twisted and turned around. Couldn't quite finish off the play. Now that puck ends up getting jammed out of the zone, back out to the Western blue line, where Feld hits the brakes. He thought he was maybe escaping pressure, now loses it. Broch now will try to back him up. He will rim that back around as he reverses it up the same wall he was attacking down from, and could not clear. Feld, 3 minutes to go now. Donuts on the board here. Today we got chocolate dip for our men in the booth. Actually behind the curtain. Now a chance. Adumi taking it right to the net as he ends up falling into the net. And unfortunately for him, the puck didn't end up going with him. So they will not count that a goal despite his efforts. But a great individual effort, as you can see. Broke in, slid that underneath the triangle of the stick there of Lewandowski, and just couldn't quite get it past Blair. But a great chance for Western there again. Now up. As Smith now for Western as they try to keep the pressure up. Here is Adumi. He overskated it. Now here comes Rubino. Rubino had the first good chance for Chicago. He gets stood up there by Madsen. Adumi comes in to help as well. Now it will be Smith. Smith trying to find that puck as he was all turned around there, and Lewandowski for Chicago now will try to clear. Adumi manages to keep it in. He's the right-handed shot, scanning. Now he sends it back to Madsen. Madsen didn't really have any other play, so he plays that back in the net. Western is going off for a line change, which will allow CCM Chicago to break in with speed at Saganti. Saganti still with it. Left-handed shot, lets the shot go, and that one almost squeaked through Anderson, who checked behind him for a second there, but puck stays back in the net. Now they center off Anderson's stick. Minute 40 to go here in the opening period. Still scoreless at 0. As Hirsch along the near side boards. We'll get some help there from Chen. Chen, 3-on-2 developing for Western. Chen, nice little move there. She tried to cut the middle, but couldn't quite catch up to the puck. Now she does. Chen centers, and that one off a Chicago skate. Now it will be Prest. Prest, wearing number 1-8 for Chicago. He's got Proctor with him. Prest dangles in the middle, and the backhand try blocked by number 7. That's Fintica. Now a chance, right in tight. Anderson down, another chance. Back to where they score! It only took about 3 or 4 chances. But finally, Chicago pumps it home. And it will be number 18, Jacob Prest, sitting all alone on the backside as he puts Chicago on the board first. And he was the one that started the play, centering that puck to the net, and then it was just relentless, banging away at net front as Anderson lost his goal stick. And everybody forgot about Prest, who snuck out of the near side corner to the back door and puts it into the yawning cage. And with 1:08 left to go, Chicago takes the lead. They lead 1-0. As Broch for Clarkson. Clarkson ends up falling. Western now behind the 8 ball here as they trail 1-0. Chicago trying to see if they can get another one. Western's gonna have other ideas. Van Ness tried to wind up on that wrister, and because he was a little bit slow getting it off, didn't quite get what he wanted on it, and it just trickles into Blair. See if we have another look at the goal here. So that forward line for Chicago, Prest, Proctor, and it appeared to be number 25, Gauthier, getting the assist there as the shot from Western off the draw. There's a chance right through the blue paint again, as Blair's had a couple of those now in which he's gotten lucky on, as Western almost ties it with 20 seconds to go. Things are ramping up a little bit more here as the period goes on. Remember, this is Chicago's second game of the day, and heads up, I was ready to make that catch in the booth. And we'll have a stoppage now with 15.3 to go. Our laptop seemed to have took the hit there. Don't worry, Dave Dawson, if you're listening from home, it appears to be all right. Just exterior damage. As Western selects, try to control the offensive zone draw. They're looking for one last chance here to finish the period, but it is gathered up by Chicago, and they make it to the Western line, not further. 2 seconds left. Smith has that roll off his stick, and that will do it. CCM Chicago will score a late one to cap off the opening period of play, and that's where we stand after one. It's Chicago 1, Western no score. Welcome back into the Mayfield Toyota Ice Palace here in West Edmonton Mall, as we're getting ready to drop the puck on period number 2 here between the Western Selects and CCM Chicago in this All-American matchup, as Chicago was able to get on the board late in that first period, courtesy of number 18, Jacob Prest. As he got him on the board on a backdoor empty netter, as we'll see if Western comes out with some fire here to start the period as they get a chance early. That one missed the net. And now Chicago back the other way. It will be Robito. Robito fending off everybody with one hand there, and then he let the wrister go. That one was wide of the target, which will allow Adumi to leave it for Madsen. Madsen will headman it for Smith. Smith, long wrister right on. And stopping right at the net was Salyer. But Blair was able to find it off his left pad and get the glove on top of it before Salyer could put it home. Shots favor CCM Chicago now 8-7. 11:25 to go here in the second period. And again, both these teams looking for their first win of the tournament. Western comes in at 0-1. So a big game for them to try and even up their record. Chicago, obviously they know if they drop to 0-3, they're in trouble. As Broch breaks up that clearing attempt, and will fire that back in. Medlock goes back for it. Shen is after it. She was very aggressive on the forecheck yesterday. And she creates another turnover there as Chicago's knocking down bodies in their own end. You can hear the Selects fans wanting a call, but they let them play. Now here comes Chicago back over their own blue line. Cross center. It will be Proctor, a shot right off the goal post, and it hopped right back out. And you can hear the Chicago fans, they thought that went in. But Proctor let the shot fly and it bounced right off the post. As he was a righty, coming down the right side, he let the shot go right at about the top of the circle, beat Anderson clean. And boy, Anderson's probably saying thank you to the goalpost after that one as it hops right behind him. And he's able to hang on, and now the faceoff will come to the right of number 31 in the pipes. So we'll get one more look at it. Doink. Right off the bar. Chicago wins the draw, and it's stolen. Here comes Western. Maybe a 2-0 breakaway. Clarkson with Lampman. Clarkson shot right on, and the blocker stopped by Blair. He didn't want to kick that out to Lampman, who was slightly behind him. And not a bad play to just let her go, and he ripped it. And Blair with another save now. And Western starting to turn up the heat here, as that was breakaway offense, and Clarkson, wow, he let her fly. It was a missile. And Blair sticks out the blocker and keeps it 1-0 Chicago with 10.5 to go. What a chance for Western. And you can see their fan base ready to explode here and get the team fired up as Goff at his own line. Nice headman feed for Lampman. Lampman tried to send that through to Clarkson. They had 3 on the attack there. Now Madsen jumps with a bunch of speed behind the net. Clarkson tries to go low to high. It's spits out to Van Ness. Van Ness to Madsen. Madsen's a D-man playing down there. Now he centers. Van Ness is jumping down as well. Now a chance for Clarkson. That one blocked. It skips around and just misses the net. Now Lampman. One of the CCM Chicago players is slow to get up. That's Salmonen. And they are able to clear. And they're going to say it's a high stick. And it's going to be against Western. So they touch up, and the faceoff's going to be down into the Western zone. And so Chicago catches a piece there. Or pardon me, they catch a break there. And Chicago will be able to get Salmonen off, who took a little bit of the brunt of that last shift. And now they will have Wild on the draw with Hannanen. Point shot from number 12, that's Hui. Didn't make it towards the net. Shots now 10-8 in favor of Western. As it keeps bouncing back and forth. Now Adumi at the hash marks, lets the shot go, he scores! Adumi! The right-handed shot worked his way down into the hash mark area and zipped one over the left pad of Blair. And we're all tied up again at 1 with 9:33 to go in the opening period. You can see on the replay, Adumi was battling a couple Chicago Czechs, and he stood tall and managed to zip that one over the pad of Blair. And it is tied once again at ones. Now it's Hannanen coming back the other way. Chicago turns it over just inside the Western line. We were talking about how the Selects have come out with a lot more juice here to start the second period. And they had that 2-on-0 breakaway in which Clarkson was stopped, and then they left it to number 9, Benjamin Adumi, to fire one home. Now Wild losing control at the blue line. Sounds like Broch got a helper on the goal. We'll have to listen for that. Second assist is Chen's shot. Hit a Chicago stick and bounced into the far corner. Now they jump off the bench. Another shot high off the window. All Western right now as they are buzzing. Now it will be Hirsch. Hirsch had to go off his stick. Still battling in there, wins the battle. Chen jumps in to help. Hirsch trying to toe drag that around Lewandowski. Now it will be Chicago trying to escape and get this puck out of the zone as Western is swarming the puck like bumblebees. If you know the song, somebody finish it for me. As Hannanen trying to dangle his way through. He does against Tika. Rubino ends up falling at net front. We got crickets from our production crew. They didn't know the song. Now it's sent through the middle to Chen. Chen had it bounce off her stick. She jumps back onside. Now here's Bourne. Bourne shot right on, and that one stopped point blank by Blair, who has been busy in this second period as we got 7:55 to go. It remains 1-1 Western and CCM Chicago as the shot count now 12-8. As you see the chance from Bourne there, letting that wrister go, and a great stop in the butterfly by netminder Nolan Blair, as now pressed. The goal scorer for Chicago, let that shot go. Ready for that was number 44, Bennett Goff. He blocked it, put her down. Now he's got it on his stick as he leaves it for Madsen. Madsen plays that ahead for Lampman. Lampman, nice outlet there to Van Ness. 3-on-3 over the line. Van Ness tried to pull it in, lost control, and now Chicago sends it ahead. That went off the skate of Prest, and he catches up to it at the left. Oh, that knuckle puck ends up skipping into the far side corner, where we go back and forth again. Now it will be Gauthier playing that down deep into the far side corner, where Western will have some time and space with it as Chicago's changing up their forward line. Lampman down the right side. Will send it through the middle to Clarkson. Clarkson's shot redirected wide. Now it's chipped around the dasher as they're trying to play it along the bench. A nice job by Haskell there with the stick. And now it's turned over at the line. Smith down the left side, trying to send that through. He had Lampman going to the front of the net, but couldn't get it to him. 6.5 now remaining here in this middle frame. Nice outlet there through the middle. Lampman sprung by Broch. Lampman to his backhand. Stopped there again by the blocker of Blair on the breakaway. Now a chance from a bad angle, below the goal line, in fact. And Blair was able to stick out the pad, and CCM will clear all the way down the ice. And we'll have an icing call. But how about Nolan Blair? We saw a goaltending clinic in the last game, and what an outlet from Broch to Lampman, who was getting cut off there by the Chicago defenseman, so he had to take it to his backhand. And you can see the late reaction from Blair, as he had to respect that he could, potentially pull it to his forehand. And once he knew he was going backhand, he stuck out the blocker, and he's definitely been the busier netminder in this second period as Western continues to build off the momentum. The draw is won by Chicago in their own end. They rim that around. Smith gets there first for Western. Medlock couldn't clear. It's right around the far side dot. Now a chance for Sawyer right on, and caught and held by Blair, who will once again slow things down here as we try to catch our breath with 6:01 to go. Faceoff will stay inside the Chicago zone to the left of Nolan Blair. Good crowd on hand for this evening affair between these two American teams. The host team, Team Rick Alberta, playing. And the next one is nice play by Adumi to push forward there on it, this centerman. And it looked like they were potentially running a set play. Usually we'd call that the Princeton push, but he elected not to go back door. He shot it and almost caught Blair off guard. Now it is Smith having that one hop into the Western bench. And the draw will stay inside the Chicago zone. The Tombs are bumping here in West Edmonton Mall. And yeah, our production crew even chimed in. Brandon, you want a Egyptian, he gets jacked from this song. As Western trying to get jacked up themselves as they win that offensive zone draw. They've got the crowd going with the equalizer. And now they've drawn a penalty. And it's going to be a tripping call. And it's going to be going to Lewandowski again. He actually took the first Chicago penalty of the game. And you're going to see it right behind the net, or as it's progressing towards the back of the net. There it is right there. So Western's second chance. And we'll see if they're able to capitalize. They have been electric in this second period. So now the shot count favors them 14-8 with 5:28 to go and a full 2-minute power play to work with. Chicago wins the draw. Medlock couldn't clear, and that's going to allow Western to set it up. They send it back to Broch. Broch spreads it out. It will be number 13, Landall. High shot over top of the goal, around to Adumi. Adumi. I don't think I've seen as many pucks up on the dasher as we've seen in the last few shifts. And that time they had to blow it dead because there was really no way of getting it off of there. Chicago's improved their penalty kill now. After killing off that first one, they're 3 for 6 on the tournament, clicking at 50%. Western still goalless on the man advantage as they're 0 for 2. And once again, that won't help their chances as Chicago will clear the length of the ice, as Western will go back for it. In their own zone, Broch spreads it up, right up to Chen. Looked like they were going to double swing, double post up there. Now Chen, cross ice for Adumi. The goal scorer lets that wrister go. That one might have grazed the blocker. Up Blair, now it's back up top to Broch. Broch, right-handed shot to Landall. Broch gets it again. Catches, passes, back to Broch. Broch tried to feather that one through and he lost it as Press was able to break that up. And now it will be Landall. Landall sends that ahead for Hirsch in the middle of the ice. Kicks it out to Adumi. Adumi brings it back over the Chicago line. Drops to Hirsch. Hirsch through his legs. Nice little dangle there. Hirsch still with it. Reverses it back to Adumi. Adumi up top for Broch. Broch back to Adumi. Western in the 1-3-1. Now Landall. Landall turns away. Still with it. Protects it. Back up to Broch. Broch shot tipped it net front by Chen. And she tipped it wide. She was standing all alone at net front. Now that errant pass will escape the zone. And with 20 seconds remaining, Broch calmly plays that ahead for Hirsch. Hirsch tries to get it over to Clarkson. Clarkson thought about shooting, delays. Now Clarkson up to the left point. It will be Landall. Nice little toe drag. Leaves it for Goff. That shot, oh my! That drilled. I believe it drilled Blair right in the cage. And for a second there, I thought it hit the Western player at net front. But that was a clapper. And it was a quick one, on and off the stick. And yeah, that one shook up Blair. We're gonna get a look at that. I mean, great stop by Blair, but yeah, that was, that had some juice on it, as you can see here. Bang. And you can see why we thought Clarkson got hit, because he ended up going down. Or sorry, yeah, no, it's gonna be Clarkson going to net front there. And yeah, no, right off Blair, Clarkson ended up being upended. in the slot area, but hopefully Blair's okay because he's playing a heck of a game. And with 3.5 to go, you can hear the Western crowd even applauding netminder Nolan Blair, and that's what the tourney's all about. Great sportsmanship shown by both sides. And it looks like he's going to be okay. He just got shooken up. And with 3:32 to go, 4 seconds remaining in the Chicago penalty. Clarkson will remain out there with Goff and Madsen on the backhand. Clarkson wins it back on his backhand. Quickly over to Madsen. Madsen, shot down to Lampman that hit Clarkson at net front. And got it kind of right in his chest and couldn't quite get a handle on it. Now they battle in the corner. 3:15 to go. CCM Chicago back to even strength. They break it out up the far side. Now they're going to let their long shot go right into the glove of Anderson, who has no trouble with that. That was off the stick of number 65, Voito Hananen. You got to think there's some finish to that name. As Hananen will remain out there with Salminen and MJ Robino. Face off to the left of Anderson. He hasn't really been tested at all this second period, as we're down to 3:05 to go. Goff, nice job to hit the brakes there, get away from pressure, and now Clarkson couldn't quite kind of sweep that puck out of the zone, and now will be Chicago trying to slide that ahead to Salminen. Was Rubino. As they tried to row the boat there was Lampman as he tried to get that puck out of the zone, couldn't do it, and now Madsen. Back of his own net, will play that around. And a nice outlet by Van Ness to spring Lampman on this near side. Lampman shielding off Lewandowski. Lewandowski's got to be careful. He's already taken 2 penalties on the game. And luckily for Chicago, they've killed off both. 2:20 to go. Goff at the right point. Oh, he lost the handle. Now here comes Chicago. It's Hananen. Hananen racing against 2 selects. Hananen delays. Nice job to stop up. Now he sauces that one all the way across the ice to Rubino. Rubino leaves it there for number 22, Eichelberger. He sends that through. Over to Hananen now. Hananen picks it up in the near corner. Sauces that back out to Medlock. Medlock's wrister. Stopped by Anderson. Rebound! And it hit the goalpost! And it stays out somehow! As it looked like a harmless looking play. Now another shot from the point blocked. Chicago now all over the puck. Medlock Clapper fanned on. Hananen gets it back. Backhand try blocked by Madsen. Wow. CCM Chicago coming oh so close there as they hit the goalpost on a loose puck rebound, in which Anderson, we saw yesterday, he was having trouble controlling some of the long shots, and he had trouble with that one there. Now Chicago trying to jump back on the side was number 21, Rocco Haskell, and he couldn't quite do so as we remain tied up at 1 with 1:24 left, and here's that chance. So you're gonna see it was another turnover back to the point. Shot by Medlock was fanned on, and then it was thrown towards the goal. And actually, that's not, I don't think that was the one. That was the one right after. So we'll see if we can find that. But Hui will now bring it around his own net. 1:10 remaining. Turnover now by Chicago. Western's Chen sends that on. Backhand try, kicked away by the right pad of Blair. Back up to the point, and look out as Broch had to just poke that alertly down into the near side corner. Back up to the point for Broch. Down to 1 minute left in this second period. We're still tied at 1. What a game here between Western and CCM Chicago. And now we're gonna get you the look of that last scoring chances. Medlock let her go, the high wrister, skipped in onto Anderson, and then there, right there, oh my. Goff saved the goal for the Selects as it hit the post, and then he was able to clear it just in the nick of time. As we remain tied at 1:50.5 left on the clock. Chen back up for Broch off the one draw. Broch dangerously to his D partner, but he'll get it back now at center, and he'll clear that in. No icing. As Western, Adumi, Chen, and Landal out there giving chase on the forecheck. Landal bumps his man. We say it's a clean hit. Landal now tries to chip it to himself. And that rolling puck will come back over the neutral ice area where Broch fanned on it, pressed, trying to get there first. Couldn't quite do so. Now it will be number 9, that is Adumi. Turning it over, and look out! That net front press was left alone again, and he couldn't quite get the handle on it with under 10 seconds to go. Now it's played out to the line, and Hannigan couldn't quite keep it in for Chicago, which will allow the time to expire. And after 2 periods of play, what a game it's been, as it was a little slow off the hop, but as we gradually moved into the second period, it became an absolute battle as Chicago's pressed the lone goal scorer for them, and Benjamin Adumi, as you see on your screen, tying things up at 1, and that's where we stand after 2 periods of play here at West Edmonton Mall. Stay tuned for third period action coming up shortly.
Don't let it pass by. Keep me on my toes like no one I ever known. The highlight in every
Welcome back inside West Edmonton Mall as we are just getting set to drop the puck on the third period of play. Whether it's the final period of play, we're gonna find out as both these teams are tied up at 1. Your goal scorers, CCM Chicago opened up the scoring off the stick of number 18, Jacob Prest. The helpers went to Benson Proctor and Maxime Gauthier. And then Western was able to reply with a goal of their own off the stick of number 9, Benjamin Adumi. And the helpers went to number 19, Hunter Smith, and number 8, Joseph Broch. And the ice is a little bit wet to start the period. We'll have to see if that plays a factor for either team, as Western trying to build off that second period. The shot, that actually hit their own man at the front of the net and might have had a chance of going in clean if it didn't hit him. Now Feld drops to 2 knees. Rubino gets by him. Feld now racing back to that near side post as they try to bank that one off the back of Anderson. 40 seconds in. We had Toronto Pro defeat the Boston Junior Bruins 2-1 in double OT in the last game. We'll see if this one is destined to get to overtime as Hannanen on the far wall. He will backhand that back down below the goal line as Chicago changes up 1 forward, and now a very risky pass through the middle of the ice all the way to the Chicago bench there. Is luckily for Western that wasn't picked off. Now Saganti around his own net. Tries to feed that up the wall for Prest. Prest had a bounce off him to Gauthier. Gauthier, there's the water as the puck just stuck. And it's gonna work out for Western. Oh, it just stuck again, and how about a third time? And Western will be the beneficiaries as they're able to clear. Now Smith blocks that clearing attempt from Chicago, and here is Adumi. Right-handed shot down the left side, takes it to his backhand, and that one slid along the ice. Blair was able to slide with him, make the stop. Now long shot from Bourne, tipped right on. Blocker stop by Blair once again. Now it will be number 14, Proctor, trying to send that rink wide to Prest. Didn't get to him. Now Adumi, he's having himself a game here for Western. Trying to get his team their second goal, and, well, individually his second goal of the game as well. Chicago looking to break it out. They have some speed. They will cut through the middle of the ice, and that pass broken up, but regained by Lewandowski. And Lewandowski will just get enough to move it ahead for Gersick. And now it will be Hui. Hui up for Proctor. Proctor with Gersick. Proctor dumps that back in the net. 12:20 to go. We're in this third period. Again, the first 2 periods, 12 minutes long. Third period, 15 minutes long. As Western tries to feed that through the middle of the ice to Bourne, who is activating as the weak side D-man. Now Bourne slaps that ahead for Van Ness. Van Ness calmly plays that over to Lampman. That long shot easily steered away there by Blair. And here's Haskell. Haskell gets that in deep. Now gives chase. That puck gets by Salmonen as he bumps Lampman. Lampman falls. He'll get a second crack at it. Now is able to chip out. Now it will be number 11, Medlock, playing that off the boards. Right to Madsen. Madsen had his twig knocked out of his hands. No call on that one. And Western right in front of their own bench. Now trying to support the puck is Clarkson. Leaves it for Lampman. Lampman has Hirsch. Kicks it out to him. Hirsch, nice move. Forehand to backhand, and he gets hooked on his way to the net. No call there, as it looked like a scoring chance was developing, and they allow that one to go as CCM Chicago almost took their third penalty of the evening. Now they will break it out up the near side. Losing their footing there was Hernigan. Chicago. Now at the dot is Rubino, the shot right on Anderson. Didn't quite know where it was. And it appeared as if the puck was still loose. But a quick whistle there. And Anderson, who wasn't really tested a whole lot in the second period, gets tested there by MJ Rubino. Yeah, there's the puck right there. It definitely hopped out. But fortunately for Western, they get the whistle, and now the draw is won by Chicago initially, but it will be Hirsch, Ike Hirsch, coming down the left side. It looked borderline, but the referee deemed it as no trip, which will allow Saganti. Coming back down that far side wall. He had it knocked off his stick, but gets some help, and Chicago's able to clear back inside the select zone. Now they send that again all the way across the ice. Chen might be the player to watch this period. See if she can catapult her team into the lead. That pass dangerously through the middle again. Saganti with it, trying to pinch down. Now we'll get it back. Sends that back in the net. 10 minutes remaining here in this third period. Still tied at 1. Shots favor Western. 18-10. As CCM Chicago plays that just outside their own line. It's turned over. Hirsch to Landl. Prest comes in. Quickly takes that away from Landl. Now it's Feld trying to play that back for Broch, but instead he'll play it all the way back into his own zone. With 9:40 now remaining. Broch, great job to step out from behind his net. Tried to send that through the middle to Smith. Smith couldn't quite handle it on his backhand, but Sawyer now strips one of the CCM Chicago players. That was Hennigan. But once again, the Selects changed up their D as they were hopping off the bench. Now it will be Madsen playing that ahead. Adumi tripped up Hennigan. And can they get away? No, they can't, as Gauthier sends that over for number 11. That is Medlock. Medlock plays it up the near side boards for Proctor. Both teams kind of having trouble gaining the zone at either blue line right now. And we'll see if Goff can do it. No. Another turnover. Press back the other way. Sends that across for Proctor. And it looked like he had some daylight, but he was a step ahead of the play. And it will be offside on CCM Chicago with 8:52 remaining. Yes. No replays to show, and that's kind of been the story of the third period so far. Not a whole lot to report. So our production crew getting to put their feet up back there and relax a little bit. So they're enjoying a Starbucks coffee. Now a shot there, blocked. His tick out let her fly. Van Ness. Clarkson now giving chase on the track as he bumps Haskell. Was crashing down. Now that one rimmed around as Lewandowski lost his footing. Not enough steam to get all the way down the ice as the sweepers didn't come out there and get that puck to the house. As now it will be Gersick. Stolen by Bourne. Lampman getting there, but again offside. This time on the Western Selects with 8:01 to go. And I repeat, not much to report so far in this third period other than Starbucks not covering the cost of the coffee for our crew hiding behind the curtains here. As Chicago controls the neutral zone draw. They tried the soft chip entry. Broch had none of that. Tried to feed that puck ahead to Chen. She turned it over, and that puck comes off the back wall. You got to think both these teams got to be playing desperate here, and maybe a chance for Landl as he blocked that shot from Medlock, but Medlock was able to recover and get it back down into the Western Select zone as both these teams need a win badly. As Western 0-1, Chicago 0-2, and that next goal is going to be critical. Chicago's already playing their third game of the tournament. Each team plays 6 in total, including 1 doubleheader throughout the week. 7.5 to go now. Face off to the right of Anderson. First 7.5 minutes gone. And again, both teams trying to establish some pressure. And remember, Chicago, this is their second game of the day. So you got to think maybe fatigue will play a factor as Western is fresh. And right now, it's anybody's ball game out there. As Medlock fanned on that attempt. Now it's almost turned over right in front of their own net. Brosh now fans on it, and it will be played low to high. That was from Rubino. Up top, the wrister. That goes off the back wall. Now it will be Chicago. Bringing that out of the corner, around the curve of the circle. Stolen by Hirsch. Wild sticks with it. He's got Hannon in. Hannon in on his backhand. Sends that through. Now Wild, the shot right on. Stopped by Anderson. Not once, twice. Anderson's down. And he manages to find it underneath himself. And Wild is looking skyward, as he had the two best chances of the period. And we're going to show them to you right there. There's one, there's two, and there's three. And then finally, Anderson ends up finding it between the legs. He kind of looked like Grant Fuhrer from back in the day. Anybody remembers that Edmonton Oilers legend playing the pipes? As now Gauthier tries to send that through the slot. Nice stick in the passing lane there by Madsen. Madsen now will skate his way into the zone down the left side. Still with it, centers, and Blair is battling through some sticks, but will end up getting the mid on it, and he will hang on with 6:25 to go in this third period. Face-off will come to the right of Blair. Chicago controls, and it will be Goth. Goth will softly play that off the boards right in front of the penalty box area. Now it goes underneath the stick of Goth, and he's got to retreat back to net front as that soft shot hits. It looks to hit the side of the goal. Stays alive for Chicago, though, as Salyer gets dumped. Now a chance right in front. Comes right back out to Medlock. Medlock shot. That one goes through. Anderson sticks out the left pad. And through again, a ton of bodies. Manages to keep the puck out. And we were waiting for one team to kind of take initiative here in the third period, and it appears to be CCM Chicago, as that puck spit out back to Medlock. And remember the last Medlock shot from the point, he got stopped, and then Chicago put it off the iron in the second period as the shot count tightens up a little bit. It's 19-13 for Western. Now Lampman trying to stick lift Hennigan, couldn't quite do so. And Western is able to pick off that pass from Chicago momentarily, but Gauthier now will play that in. Clarkson picks off his dumping attempt and will wheel the net. Nice cut to the middle by Clarkson. He's gonna beat Press now, who's standing still. 3-on-2 for Western. Clarkson lets the shot go, and that one blocked, as he thought the shot was the better option other than kicking it out to either winger. And now Feld's D-to-D pass comes outside the line, but they're gonna catch Chicago on a line change. Clarkson again over the line with Lampman. This time he gives it to him, gets it back. Clarkson shot. Didn't make it there. Van Ness also after it. Now it will be Chicago. Medlock trying to play that ahead. He will get it in. Remember, teams only get 2 points for an overtime win, and they get a point for an overtime loss. We're down to 5 miles left here in this third period. 5 miles. Haskell with Eichelberger. Haskell still with it. He falls, and there's going to be a Western Select penalty as they're going to touch up, and it is going to be another tripping call, but this time it's going to go to the Western Selects, which is going to put CCM Chicago on the power play. And you know, our production crew's all over the special team stats. They should have it for us momentarily, but they might be enjoying that coffee a little bit too much. We'll find out. 4:46 to go. Chicago, this is their chance. Can they capitalize off the draw? That shot hits the back wall. It will be number 14, Benson Proctor, up to the point. To the net, pressed, found on that one. Hannanen is manning the point along with Rubino. That means Chicago is going 5 forwards up front. Now here's a chance. Anderson comes over with the poke check. Where is it? Oh, it was blocked right in the paint as it's still loose. And now the Stripes blow it down. But instead of Anderson being the man keeping that puck out, it was the defenseman from Western. And my, oh my. Let's take a look at that as caught. Couldn't quite keep a handle on it, and right there, wow, a knee-jerk reaction from number 63, Axe Madsen. Keeping that puck out, and we'll call that a shot block, even though we might as well call it a save, as he took over the goaltender role there. 4:14 to go, that long shot from the point. Easily caught and held by Anderson, but we'll get one more look at that one. Yes, I got the video crew all over me here. I'm sure that's gonna be going on Instagram momentarily. But you can see Madsen sticking out the left leg there and blocking that one, and now a goal scramble again. And Sawyer is able to clear. Back out to the left point, couldn't clear the zone though, as Rubino shot from the right point, right on, and Anderson finds that laser beam and hangs on. As so we just got word, Western perfect on the penalty kill at 2 for 2 on the tournament. Chicago, not a bad percentage. They're clicking at 33.33%, as they are 2 for 6. As that puck is sent the length of the ice back into Chicago territory. As they look to break it out quickly here. They got a minute left to work with on the power play. Tika aggressively steps up for Western to break that outlet play up. Now it's sent up for Proctor. Nice job receiving that on his forehand. Brings it in. Will let the long shot go. Anderson had trouble with it. Kicked out into the slot, and Western was there. As Sawyer will once again clear that down to Blair. Blair comes out of his goal to play that one. It will be Rubino now. Remember, Chicago's going 5 forwards, and Rubino gets upended as Clarkson now gets bodied there by Rubino, who gets him back. And now they send a stretch pass up. Will it be enough as Tika comes back quickly and helps out his deep partner Broch. Now a high shot right into the glove of Anderson from Prest. And with 20 seconds remaining in the man advantage, 3:06 to go on the game clock. Shots slowly tightening up more and more here, with Western having the slight edge at 19-16. I swear Lauren can't be any more obvious being up here in the booth right now. She's just flashing that camera all over the place. But we have a timeout called by, was it Western or was it Chicago? It was Chicago. So we'll have a 30-second breather and see what's drawn up here by both teams. So we're back from commercial break. We'll see what Chicago has drawn up here. They got 20 seconds left in the power play. Gauthier lost the draw, and that won't help. As a nice penalty kill face-off drawn up there with the defenseman behind the centerman. Is able to clear that the length of the ice, and that should just about do it on the Chicago power play. They'll have 5 seconds to work their way in over the line. Proctor centers that one through. That's broken up by Madsen. Madsen might have saved the game for the Selects with that shot block slash playing netminder with Anderson down and out. Now Chicago centers that towards the front of the goal. Here's Chen. Chen will send it down. I don't know if she realized that they're back to even strength, but it won't have enough juice to make it all the way down for icing. Now it will be CCM Chicago wheeling that around the net. That went off a skate right to Hannanen. Hannanen stick handles his way over the line, wearing number 65. Hannanen, nice little push-pull as he was almost able to execute that play. Proctor now, shot right on it, Anderson caught a piece of it with the blocker. And that goes over top of the glass and out of play with 2:12 to go. We'll get a look at that one as Anderson once again sharp for Western right there. As he had to be alert and ready for that point blanker. And with 2:12 to go, we're still tied at 1. Overtime looming. Wild on the draw for Chicago. Hannanen also out there with Eichelberger. Now Van Ness will slide that up ahead for Adumi. Adumi was getting hooked and held, and now it's stolen by Chicago. Now Chicago back the other way is Wild. Wild also had 2 chances right in the slot to win this game. Hasn't been able to do it. Now it squirts back up to the point. Hennigan, Clapper, blocked by the skate of Clarkson. Clarkson's had some good wheels in this game. Brings it back over the red line and now turns it over, and here comes Eichelberger. Pinched by Madsen, maybe a 2-on-1. Eichelberger cuts, shot. That one blocked by Goff. Nice job there by the defenseman to bail out his partner. Minute and a half now left, back out to the right point. Medlock, wrister blocked fearlessly there by Miller Van Ness. Van Ness now, skate to stick for Clarkson. Clarkson drops, nobody there. 3-on-3 coming back over the line now. Hannon goes off for change. It will be Eichelberger's shot into the near side corner. Down to a minute 10 left. Medlock trying to keep that in on his backhand, and he just got enough of it before Clarkson was away. Clarkson and Chen out there for the Selects. They try to center, and that one put right on goal. And Blair down into the butterfly, make sure there's no rebound with just under a minute to go. And folks, she's tight here at West Edmonton Mall here in the Ice Palace. Who's gonna get the G-Dub-G? See if we have some predictions roll in. As it's stolen and pressed. Coming back the other way, Broch trying to catch him. He does. Press lets it go with that. Iceburner just missed the far post. As now, Chicago still pressing. Shot towards the goal. Broch just took it backhand to forehand and cleared it out of harm's way. Now Western will chip that off the wall, and it should be an icing call, which it is with 33.1 now to go. We saw CCM Chicago burn their timeout at the end of that power play. We'll see if Western needs to use theirs. Obviously, we're not in the NHL here, so they are able to make a line change after the icing. So the 5 players that were out there are not gassed, if you will, unless they decide to keep them out there. And we got some debris on the ice. She's going to hold up play. Normally that would be an ejection if it was an NHL game, but instead the Stripes just has a good laugh. Says don't let it happen again. As Chicago wins the draw, Medlock trying to settle it. He gets it to Gauthier. That one backdoor, and it's just slid wide. Chicago didn't want to shoot it. Now the point shot just wide again. 20 seconds remaining. Here comes Chen. Chen, both goals yesterday in game 1. The lefty bringing it down the left wing. Tried to center it back to the point now for Madsen. Oh, that was dangerous, and Madsen overskated that one. Madsen still with it. Centers, and good net coverage there by Chicago will allow them to chip, and that should do it for the 2nd consecutive game, and I believe the 3rd game on day 2. We are headed to overtime as Chicago and Western still tied up at 1s. Don't go anywhere. First overtime coming right up. Well, I hope you caught your breath because we got an exciting overtime period coming up. We just saw Boston and Toronto Pro go to double OT. We'll see what happens here. Chicago's going to start with Gauthier, Proctor, and Medlock. And why not Medlock? He's been good on the back end. Landau, Adumi, and Broch for Western. 3-on-3 for 2 minutes. If there's no goal scorer, we head to double OT, and it will drop down to 2-on-2. And Broch is going to send this all the way down the ice for icing as we're 13 seconds in. And if nobody scores after 2-on-2, which I alluded to last game, usually somebody wins in overtime. But if nobody does, we will head to a shootout. And we'll see if Chicago is able to take advantage of the offensive zone draw now with Gauthier, Proctor, and now Hennigan as they take Medlock off. Chicago looked like they were going to win it, but here comes the selects. Landau against Proctor. Landau trying to shield it away. Now he'll kick it back for Broch. Broch, nice little deceptiveness there, brings it in 2-on-1. Broch lets the shot go through the legs of Hennigan, but out the other side, and Adumi picks it up, now walks the circle. Adumi's got Broch on the back door, centers, he scores! Broch stuck in back door, Adumi saw him, and Western wins it. 36 seconds in to the first overtime, and what a massive victory that is, as they will celebrate and win 2-1 against CCM Chicago. And what a win it is for the Selects as they prevail and move their record to 1-1. Chicago drops to 0-2-1. Stay tuned, we'll have your 3-star selection along with a chat with today's first star.
Eyes are open wide. By the way, I made it through the day. I watched the world outside. By the way, I'm leaving out today. I just saw Haley's comments your way. Said, why you always running in place? Even the man in the moon disappeared. Somewhere in the stratosphere. Tell my mother, tell my father, I've done the best I can to make them realize this is my life. I hope they understand. I'm not angry, I'm just saying, sometimes goodbye is a second chance. Please don't cry one tear for me, I'm not afraid.
Gentlemen, the third star today from the Western Selects, number 31, Braden Anderson.
I just saw Haley's comments your way. Said, why you always running in place?
Your second star from CCM Chicago, number 50, Nolan Blair.
In the stratosphere. Tell my mother, tell my father.
And your first star with a goal and an assist on the game-winning goal from the Western Selects, number 9, Benjamin Adumi.
I hope they understand. I'm not angry, I'm just saying, sometimes goodbye is a second chance.
Western Selects, number 9, Benjamin Adumi. Ben, big win for your club, 1-1 now. Let's go through first your first goal to tie things up in that second period.
I don't know.
What'd you see on that second goal? The first goal.
I think I got hooked, and then I shot it, and then it went in.
I thought it was a pretty nice goal. I mean, you picked your spot. How about the second goal in overtime? Obviously, a nice look to Broch. What'd you see there?
I thought it was going out, but then it went in.
Whatever gets the job done, right? How's the experience been so far being in Edmonton?
Very good. I think it's the coolest mall on planet Earth.
The coolest mall on planet Earth. What's the best part so far?
The ice rink. Wait, I don't know.
Have you checked out any other things in the mall other than the ice rink?
I checked the roller coaster. No, not the roller coaster. No, I've been on the roller coaster and the water slide.
Well, that ain't bad. You enjoy the rest of the week. Congrats on first star of the game, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
That's Benjamin Adumi of the Western Selects. His team coming off a huge 2-1 victory in overtime against CCM Chicago here at the Mayfield Toyota Ice Palace here in West Edmonton Mall. My name's Adam Mana on behalf of HN Live. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Stay tuned. The next game is coming up at 7:10.